So, yo,
I knew hip hop.
Hit us with the intro.
I knew hip hop, yes, sir.
Yeah, hit us with the intro, yo, and we're gonna go right into that new pillar.
Okay.
Because it's a conversation I want to take.
We gotta introduce LaRussell, but we'll do it.
Yeah.
You ready?
All right, guys. In 3, 2, 1.
And we are back with another episode of Fuck You Money with Ty and Yo. So
Yep.
Ty,
Live
I'm
from
Yo.
From the Pergola.
Special guest today. Please introduce yourself.
LaRussell, live from Vallejo, California. We at the Pergola. We got dogs barking in the back.
Yes, we
Niggas
do.
is outside.
We outside. Now, we were in the middle of a conversation before the camera started rolling about the need for a new pillar of artists.
Yeah.
Coming off the backs of the Kendricks, the Coles, the Drakes.
Right. The through line for those three individuals is that the anchor that was driving them was already comfortable in business. When you think about Top Dog with Kendrick, you think about Hove with J. Cole, you think about Birdman for Drake, right? There was, they had established individuals that could be able to say, you know what? You talented, I can wait. You gonna do the work? I can wait. You gonna be the hype man for J-Rock? I can wait.
Dang.
You know what I'm saying?
Blueprint 3 tour, Cole opens for Jay.
Yeah.
You got Drake opening for Wayne.
Yeah.
I mean, you put it that way. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Let's
See,
rewind.
Top Dog situation was a little different though.
Street stability is still stability.
True.
But also,
It's risky. It's just definitely risky.
I think J-Rock had to deal with Warner.
They did have to deal with Warner.
Yeah.
Think about this, right? J. Cole got embarrassed waiting for Jay-Z in the rain.
You remember that, yeah.
That worked, right? Kendrick was the hype man for J-Rock.
On tour,
On
I think,
tour.
for Tech 9. They were touring
Yes,
Tech
it
9.
was Tech 9. He was the hype man.
Hype man.
Right? So that's two. Drake, before Drake signed with Cash
Birdman,
Money,
yeah.
Drake spent so much money traveling around trying to get in certain scenes. That's why he hung out with all these different studios between Atlanta, Houston, all those different things. Now, he had the resources because of the success he had in Toronto,
From Degrassi, yeah.
but 40 didn't want him to go there and spend all of that money. So there's a certain level of work ethic that ain't got nothing to do with rapping.
Also, it's
that was
irrational.
employed.
It's a little irrational.
It's very irrational.
Because I remember...
It's delusional.
Because you gotta think about it. J. Cole only went to college in New York because he thought he was gonna make it as a rapper. I'm not going to college or school.
That's a different type of ideology.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You gotta live with that.
So now, when you start thinking about work ethic, the only rapper outside of you and your work ethic that has a work ethic and has like actual that do all the things is Tyler the Creator. There's no other rapper that works like him, that understands the things you have to do.
Right.
That goes to the elders and be like,
yeah, like,
can I get some of that wisdom? I will use it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else, they use the internet, fuck you old niggas.
Right.
And then they jetpack run out in year 2. And they figuring out what to do.
Right.
If we're going to talk about pillars, it has to start with what are they willing to do outside of making music?
Right. And that's usually where the conversation stops. For real. Because that's usually where the conversation stops, which is why, always, it's funny how like when you indie, people look at like being indie as amateurish.
Yes.
Versus major. It's like, oh, that's a little indie nigga. But it's like, do you know how much more I have to do than a nigga who signed to a major to be indie? I have to be more skilled than every nigga you listen to.
Yeah.
Because you heard me and him. And he got the major behind him. He didn't have to do half of what I had to do.
Yeah.
Like, you really have to be super skilled. And I think that's why we're not seeing a huge insurgence of a lot of successful indie artists, because artists lack that skill and that work ethic to do that shit.
You want to know what?
It's not an amateur thing to be independent. It's hard as fuck.
Hard as fuck. You want so crazy, right? So there's this concept in football that black college players, specifically DBs, are more trained to go to the league than big D1 schools, right? And the philosophy as it is that black colleges don't have all of the smart coaches to build up all these different schemes. So niggas play man on man all game long, and they develop that skill set. So you get a nigga from the black college, he's gonna be fast, he's gonna know how to play man. That's top tier criteria to go to the league, right? Being independent, it's like going to black college. You don't have all the resources, but you got to use your degree to get the same job that the nigga from Vanderbilt.
You got to be nice as fuck. You got to be nice as fuck at what you do. You better be nice as fuck at what you do, because your TV time is this much bigger. So if a nigga know you had to be nice as fuck. That's really what it is.
Yeah. And I don't think that's talked about a lot. So I'm glad you brought that up, because now one of the things me and Brent go back and forth about, he's like, niggas got to know that being independent don't mean you broke. That means that you are investing your money so that you can keep going.
It mean you broke too, though. It mean you broke too at a stage. Like, yeah, a nigga is broke. I'm broke because I'm spending a lot of money
1000%.
to do what I have to do.
That's a different type of broke.
Right.
That's a different type of broke. That ain't dusty.
Broke, but it's still broke because if something need to get done and you ain't got to get it done, nigga.
No, when I say it's a different type of broke, meaning that if you say, you know what, I think I'm gonna go and do architecture. I got 30 albums.
Yeah.
Somebody gonna give me about 20 million. I'ma just, boom. That ain't broke.
Right.
And there's a different layer of broke from that aspect. Now, your same conversation, if somebody, let's say, I don't know, any artist that signed to a major label who don't own their music, but they got about 8 albums, 9 albums, and they decide that they want to, I don't want to do this no more. I'm gonna go be an architect. They ain't got no asset to sell.
Right.
They might have some publishing, but that ain't the same as masters.
Yeah.
So this is a broke conversation go to different ways. But where he's articulating,
the camera's on, don't kill that dog.
what the overall thing he was speaking to is when it starts working.
Right.
It is important that young kids that's coming up can see the value in being independent.
I don't know if you know what's funny. T told me the other day, because we've been really contemplating a lot with the Def Jam situation, and I've been talking we just been having a bunch of different meetings, right? And I'm like, okay, what am I holding on to when I'm deciding to not go major when I'm getting everything I want, right? And T was like, bro, no one's dream is to be an independent artist. You only, everyone's dream is to rap and get signed, get a big deal and get help. So he's like, the only niggas who are independent are niggas who had to be. Like, no one wakes up and like, man, I want to be an independent artist.
This is facts.
And that shit I had to really sit and be like, right.
But I don't think, we didn't have no heroes that was independent. Like, we was playing Lil Wayne the other day, right? You saw the Hot Boys, you wanted to be on Cash Money. Yeah. You saw Rockefeller, you wanted to be on The Rock. I feel like if we grew up watching independent artists thriving, maybe our mentality about it would be different.
That's what the future. That's what the future is.
Because we only know major because that was what was in front of us.
Yes. It's just like you only know the dollar is valuable because your mama told you the dollar is valuable and the ecosystem told you. But the moment they say, you know what, the dollar ain't valuable no more. If you want to get some money, these bricks. These bricks is what's valuable.
You're not dreaming about dollars no more. You're dreaming about bricks.
I need these bricks. Everybody got brick houses. They're wealthy now. But I think that's a really important point.
Now, again, to LaRussell's point, being an independent artist is hard. Like, it's difficult. So doing something hard over and over again, and if it looks easier as a major, that's going to be enticing.
Very enticing.
It's going to be
I tell everybody this story that we didn't wake up being like, boy, we're going to build this independent company. We was like, no, we're finna get this shit hot.
We're finna go get this back with these niggas.
Go get this record label deal. It wasn't just, if I was like not problem, I told one of the homies the other day, I said, you have a pro and con with you. You know too much. There's a pro and con to knowing too much. All that happened when I sat down with the major labels that I knew too much. I'm like, wait a minute. That don't make sense. And that put me on this journey. But I didn't start off trying to just be an independent artist. I just wanted to not get fired.
Right.
That was the only thing.
Make some money.
Yeah, definitely make some money. Gotta want to make some money.
Well,
Some fuck you money.
some fuck you.
Gotta make some
Russell,
fuck you money.
what is fuck you money to you?
Man, to me, fuck you money is what we standing on. When a nigga give you issues with a venue and it's like, oh, no, you can't use this date, you can't do this. And it's like, all right, fuck you then. I'm going to do it at my house.
Pergola.
I think fuck you money is when like you got a homie who raw at some shit and they had a job and they not been treated conducively, use their effort and it's like, all right, fuck you. She going to come work for me.
Yeah.
You feel me? I think that's fuck you money. Just being able to control your narrative and what happens in life and not having to like bow down when you don't get a certain situation. Yeah. You could walk away from things. You feel me? Like you ain't got fuck you money. You ain't walking away from a lot. You gonna deal with it. You gonna deal with it, right?
He might have no legs.
Yeah, you probably got no legs at all. It's funny because you talk about, you know, the Pergola, you talk about the venue issues. I remember when he called me before he built this motherfucker. And I had him on speakerphone. He was like, nigga, I got it. And Jane was sitting beside me. And he was like, nigga, I'm finna build Diddyland. I was like, what? He was like, nigga, I'm about to build Diddyland, boy. They finna come see me. I'm finna build my own venue. It's gonna be like Vegas, nigga. They gonna come see me in the V. I was like, word? Bro, I bullshit you not. Mind you, maybe 3 days later, I looked on Instagram and it was just a camera following the nigga to the backyard. And it was nigga back here building shit. So when I first came and saw it in real life, I was like, yo, this man literally, there's a different type of brain that talk about ideas. And then you see like 3 days later, they're like, that's literally what my team be terrified of. They be like, oh shit, this nigga finna start another company.
Right.
If you don't have a bright idea. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
But that is,
did it feel that way, LaRussell? Like you had the idea, next thing you know, you were building.
Bro, as soon as I feel like either after or right before I call him, I call my boy and say, hey, nigga, this is what I'm trying to do. I want to start tomorrow.
It definitely felt like tomorrow.
I wasn't even thinking like the long term. I just wanted to do the show that I waned to do that I wasn't able to do. You feel me? It was like, it was just for that next show.
But you thinking about one show, just the show.
I'm a nigga who I start digging a hole. And that hole get a certain size, and I'm like, I can put a pool in this bitch. And then the pool get there, and I'm like, I'm finna build a waterfall on this motherfucker. And it just start coming, and it eventually was like, when I told him, I was like Vegas, and I start thinking, because I kept seeing the Bruno Mars and Usher shit, and I was like, bro, they only gotta go one place, they don't gotta do nothing. They gotta go no. Nigga, I was like, that's the way. I'm now building it out where like, we got a theater out here. I just did my last show. We're about to start. The second half of the residencies will be there because the weather changes and it'll be too cold back here. So now we're going to do there. So all year, you can come fly in and see me at home once a month. And that'll be the only way you see me eventually. I'm not touring and going nowhere else. So it's like, if you really want to see me, it's always going to be a once in a lifetime thing because you're not going to see me nowhere else. Right. And every show is different. Like we building things. I got 30 albums. We're about to do shows themed around each album. Like the whole set, the vibe, the energy. Like we really building experiences. So every time you come out here, it's going to be something different. Every backyard show has been something. You might see an artist that you had no clue.
I was about to say, we caught one out here. Me and Ty was here.
You probably going to say the same shit I'm about to say.
Well, I remember us going to the green room. Right?
Going to the green room. Because there is a green room. So we're clear.
I believe I asked you, like, what's your set list? He was like, the crowd's going to throw some songs at me.
Yes.
The crowd's going to throw some songs at you. What you mean? Have you seen how many songs you have? And I swear, he comes out here, and there's a moment he does. I was like, what do y'all want to hear? And they're just shouting songs out. So okay, I could do that one. And I could do that one. And you're just running songs. And I've never seen no one just be able to, someone throw something out at the crowd and be like, oh yeah, I got you. And I got you. And I was like, I remember, I said, how long is your set? I'll maybe go an hour 30. Like, it just seems like you can go out here. I could be here all day.
I could be here all day.
Let me tell you something.
We've had a 2-hour set before. I could be here all day.
Let me tell you something, man. I have never, and I'm probably never gonna see an artist that have a fucking show and they just say they have this much music and they like, yo, what y'all want to hear? And somebody names the songs from 2018. And the nigga know the lyrics.
Know all the lyrics too. Not
with no karaoke. there's a certain respect. And me and him, we have a bunch of conversations about like the figuring out the infrastructure, figuring out like the politics, how to deal with a lot of the things that the music business offer. Because this is what you signed up for, right?
Right.
But there's a certain level of, and I think that the criticism he has on other artists, whether the artists like it or not, it comes from this sense of like, I know how hard I work to get the percentage of the business that I have to control from an audience perspective, like how much percentage of the audience attention span I have. And you motherfuckers got this shit and you fucking it up. It's almost like being from the hood and seeing your rich friend with the trust fund in the hood with you. Like, why the fuck you here? You don't even gotta be here. You got a whole trust fund. You can be starting a business, but you want to come sit back here and smoke weed with us? That we ain't got no choice at certain points? The fuck? And so it feels like that when he speaks about the quality of music and how it kind of makes him feel, because this motherfucker do an hour-long set. He like,
bro,
what song y'all want to hear?
It's never out of malice. I really care. And like, I don't never bash niggas. Like, I got compassionate, just like, I care because I really do this and I had to really build it and really work for it. And I know when niggas is being robbed. I know what I give. So I know when I go to a show, I know when I'm getting robbed. And if a nigga paid, it's just like, bro, we have to do, the price of the dope goes up when everybody is giving like great shit. You feel me? It's not such a disparity with one nigga over here doing it and one. It's like, no, we could all do this right if we choose to like, no, let's really give niggas real show presentation. Like, it's almost shameful to go to a rap show and not get to see a nigga rap.
Yeah, especially
to me, that is the worst thing I've ever had to experience. I go to a rap show and it's like, damn, he not rapping? I thought you was rapping tonight. I would have stayed home if I knew you wasn't.
Hey, them whole shows, when a nigga bust them freestyles, it's priceless. The one he had about Nipsey, and he did the A-B.
The B-side? Yeah.
Them things live forever. And what it does is it kind of like, yeah, nigga, I'm that nigga. Bro. You know what I'm saying?
Bro. And that's
how makes it so I'm that nigga. You know what I mean? So, that's how that pretty much goes. The dog gotta get some fucking money too.
Right? He want his son. He just want his son.
You gotta get the son for it leaves. But
he can sit outside. Make sure he don't piss on this shit though.
We're gonna more so deal about this fuck you money vehicle, right? So we all, whether you want to admit it or not, everybody's on this fuck you money highway, right?
Right.
And so everybody got a car, you know what I'm saying? Everybody got passengers, and what we want to talk about today is like, where are you at on your fuck you money journey on fuck you money highway? What car you in? You know what I'm saying? Who's the passenger? You know what I'm saying?
Seats you got?
All those different things.
Do y'all mind if I smoke?
Oh yeah, no, you good. You know what I'm saying?
I am currently, I'm usually in two different vehicles on my highway.
Okay.
I'm either in a black truck.
Okay.
And I got, the niggas with me that's conducive, or I'm in a Sprinter van because I had to bring everybody.
Yep.
And for the past 2-3 years, we've been driving like 95. We've been driving 95. Like, nigga, hopping out, get back home, 95. And now I'm merging into a slow lane because I'm like, let me go 50 for a bit so I could do this thing. So I could really work on this and build this thing. So I'm going 50 for a bit. So when it open up, I could, boom.
100.
I passed the 100. It's going to be like, what the fuck? When a nigga driving so fast, like you just feel the wind, you don't even get to see the car.
It almost scare you. Like, where'd you come from?
Yeah.
Now,
that's how I'm coming.
Now, before you were going 95, though, did you have any frustration about how fast you were going?
Before I was going 95?
Yes, sir. Did you feel like you were in traffic? Do you feel like...
Yeah, I feel like when you initially hop in the car, like when I first started, I was in a 1996 Infiniti i30. It's like, I I want to be fly, but they 10s, but I keep them clean though. That's how I felt, right? No one was noticing me, but I was on the road, right? And
it's yours.
It's mine. It's mine. I own it. It's mine. You feel me? But it was like, it's traffic. It's traffic and you got your windows down. So you hearing everybody else's radio and what everybody else saying, everybody else conversation. And eventually I maneuvered through where it was a little less traffic. And, you know, and they could roll the windows up. And now I'm in my own box and we listening to our own shit. But we still ain't a nigga running low on gas, and I can only throw 10 on the tank at a time. You know, that's how it felt. That's how it was, right? But we'll put that 10 in, and I go do the run I need to do in order to make 20, 30, and then it's like, all right, now I can put 20 in the tank, and I'm gonna use the 10 to try to get this, that.
Yeah.
And man, it's that constant progression. Then eventually you move up, and you like, all right, nigga, we got the Dodge Magnum. We ain't in 930. All right, nigga, we got the Grand Cherokee. All right, nigga, we got the black Escalade. The Sprinter outside. And then the bus outside. You know? And then it's like, oh, we got to go to JSX, you know, type shit. And I've just been seeing that continuous progression. And it's almost like, I mean, we've only known each other like 2 years now. And he's seen it go from like,
you must not count Kobe. You must not count Kobe year.
This nigga, none of this was here. None of it was here. I don't even think. What did you find?
He clowned me. He be clowning me.
He be clowning you.
He be clowning me.
I tapped
2018. June 2018 on Instagram.
Yep.
Now, how'd you find out about Ty?
So look, same way I found out about you. I used to like, when I'm on YouTube and in my blogs, I used to go on every blog site and look for the writer. And I got an Excel sheet. I probably still got it. I had an Excel sheet with every writer, their email, whatever information I could find, their name, who they work for, all the shit. And I used to go through and just send a bunch of cold emails. I think I found Ty. I end up watching, did you do that one?
The Vice one?
Yeah.
Nah, that wasn't me. That wasn't me.
They did the Vice one and he was breaking down the shit. And I'm like, this nigga smart. And I seen him doing it with Brent. Nigga, I remember Brent, they had announced he was doing Harlow's. I believe it was Harlow's. He was coming to do Harlow's. I first started hearing them. And I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna go. That motherfucker sold out so fast.
Yeah.
Them niggas came back. Couldn't have been 5 or 6 months. Y'all came back the same year. If it wasn't the same year, it was like the top of the very next. Within 6 months or so, and was doing the Ace of Spades, I believe. It was 1,000. And I was like, hell no.
How big of a difference is those two venues?
Harlow's is 500 cap, Ace of Spades like 1,100, 1,200.
Ooh, 6 months.
Double.
Yeah.
Double. And I was listening to his play. He's the reason I give everybody splits. If it wasn't for Ty, none of y'all niggas would get split. Thank you. No, for real. Bro, that shit had me so fucked up. When I found out niggas was supposed to be getting split and they're splitting the money, I had like, I was talking to my pops. I was like, fuck, I got to take all the music down. I fucked up. Like, I had to go back through going through YouTube, build a whole spreadsheet and go back and give niggas, here, this for this. So it's like, I had to go back and it was stressing me, like, cause I had did pub and all that shit. I didn't understand pub and I registered Bucks and Song through TuneCore and it was like, bro, I fucked my system up. But this nigga, I got to learn third party. So I hit him, reached out and was like, yo, I think I had dropped Field Effect. It was 2018. I was like, check this out, dropped it, yada, yada. And I don't think he tapped back then, but there was some point where, I wonder if it's in there.
Yeah, everything's documented. It's the internet.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's in there.
So as he's scrolling to see the thing, I was almost like, he hit me, and it was like short responses, right? It was short responses. He'll have a bunch of long responses,
right,
but it was short responses
he's talking
from
to you,
me, right? He's talking to me.
Yeah.
So
he was Hollywood.
What ended up happening was my homeboy Dede from Atlanta sent me a freestyle of the nigga rapping, right? I was like, damn, this nigga hard. So I was like, man, let me hit this nigga and goddamn give him, like, tell the nigga keep going. I didn't realize it was the same nigga I had been giving these short answers to. So when I hit him, this long ass thread pop up. I'm like, oh shit, this nigga been a nigga that been asking me all these questions. Oh, so now I'm like, oh, he's doing the work. He's not just asking questions, because somebody else from Atlanta, Georgia, from the South Side.
Got the thread, bro.
So
wow, that's crazy.
And so from there, I was like, oh shit. So I started tapping in a little bit more intentional because you get hit up by so many people who ain't doing the work.
Right.
Once a third party told me about somebody that this person lives in Atlanta. That just sit that joint. I was like, that's crazy. So I hit him up. I think you probably eating the phone when I was like, yo, this freestyle crazy.
Nah. Like, let me read this out. What's good, bro? We spoke a few years back briefly. I wanted to circle back and see if you had a consulting fee. I love to just get in the room and discuss biz. I've been on a stampede since the last time we spoke and built a pretty good indie infrastructure. Yep. So I just love the way you lay it out. 1,000%. Right? I love to just talk more, bro. I'll come to you and pay the fee. I love what y'all are doing. I want nothing more than knowledge. Love the interviews on DJ Booth, but nothing beats that in-person shit. Hope this gets to you and we get to speak soon, brother. Peace. Ty says, busy at the moment, but I will try to circle back around on this. But it's so dope.
After nigga type of beautiful monologue.
It's so, you really did kind of pour your heart out a little bit. Ty, I see you.
I just be trying to be as like concise as possible.
I want to make sure.
This is Feb 27, 2020.
I want to make sure that you understand like that approach. People that really understand how hard it is to be successful in business, they do circle back. You know what I'm saying? Like, they do circle back. You know what I'm saying?
That was in February. Ty hits you back because LaRussell sends him a new project, Silence Won't Save You, which is a perfect example of this thread, right? You're not silent.
Wow.
Ty hits him back on June 5th. This is June 5th, 2021. This is a whole year later.
Yep.
LaRussell says, what's up, G? Ty says, meant to hit you back. You don't have to pay me for no info, right? I will break down whatever you need to learn for free. Now, it took some time.
But listen, life be coming. You know, he said he was going 95.
You know what I'm saying?
What was that? You mean what happened? You know what happened after the DJ booth argument? That was 2017.
Oh, wait, do you know what happened?
No, I just know he came back less than fucking 6 months and was doing double. That's all I can understand. I was like,
there you go.
That's all I can comprehend. And I was like, I knew it was this nigga because I watched the interview and I was like, this nigga is the mastermind. Like, you just know. You could tell. Bruh, I knew. And I was like, nigga, I gotta have this nigga. I just gotta be able to pick his brain because I was doing a lot of the similar shit. And I was like, I wanted to know what were they doing specifically because I was working on ads and shit then and hella shit. So I was really like, what the fuck did they do? Because I know I could do it.
Right.
But I also remember like, and I think that's partially too why Brent's indie success, it looks so differently from mine. Cause like Brent's hella big indie, but I don't meet a lot of people that be like, man, I could be indie because Brent did it. Right? It doesn't feel like something we all could do.
Right.
And I wonder if that was like the Crew record and shit like that, where it's like it looked a lot different.
So a lot of and this is what the truth is, right? The truth is a lot of people that aspire to be musicians didn't really know about Brent like that. So, and it wasn't promoted for real. It was really silent to the point where it hurted us.
Cause hold on, bro. Please, cause I've been looking for this song for so fucking long and I can't find it no more. Brent had a song where he was telling a story about this lady whose husband was at work. And she was like, he came home and he thought that she was cheating on him.
Bro,
and what the fuck is that song?
It's called Natural Release.
Natural Release.
That's how I found it.
That is the greatest song in the world.
First of all,
nigga, I used to do film, like photography shit. I was going to make a whole visual because y'all didn't have a video for it.
Bro,
and I seen the whole shit and I was going to shoot a whole music video for that song
that's
just
what
for
I found
him.
That's when you found him?
First of all, I had to listen to that song 10 times to understand the story.
Same.
Right? Shit went over my head 10 times. I'm not talking about 10 times back to back. I gave up.
Right.
Probably about 3 times. Like, I don't know what this thing talking about. I just know this shit fire. That's all I know. I know this shit fire. But to your point, it was so silent. And then the thing about the Crew record helped us make our money back on the publishing deal. But people thought that was Goldlink on the hook.
Oh, you don't think people understood like who was on the song?
I know they did, because when we went to radio
Uh-huh.
for Brent's solo record, nobody knew him. The DJ was like, the promo, like, this is the
Right.
kid from the Crew record. It was like, oh, that had to be a reminder, because
Right.
the way it was merged together, at that particular time, it was three nobodies for real, for real.
Yeah.
Really?
It was like three nobodies from the DMV.
From like no major city
Like
either.
Brent got the best out of that.
Yeah. Long term.
Long term, yes.
Now when people look back,
Yeah.
that adds more value, because like, oh man, that's not his only record.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And he looks back from a retrospect. But in that particular time,
You didn't know
Have-
that was Brent.
Have you?
She see money all around me. That's the part. That's him.
That's
Yeah.
crazy that he did.
but
he
I'm
did.
telling you, bro, so people
Right.
think that record blew us up. That ain't what happened. Sunder is
Hold on.
what blew us up.
Can I rewind you a little bit?
Yeah.
Have you ever
Too
explained
fast.
the way y'all work Crew though, specifically?
So,
Nah, bro. It was Crew too, though.
no, what I'm saying
Because
is that,
Crew led me to Sonder.
but you got to think about you as a music, you study it to a degree where you just said, what you do ain't normal. You just said, I made a
Yeah.
Excel list.
Yeah,
of
all the writers.
That's
That
the
was
thing
crazy.
I would do it.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
a manager,
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to figure out how to, that's not what artists do.
No.
So of course you're going to find
Right.
Sunder by
Yeah,
Crew.
because you're a
Don't you know-
researcher.
Don't you know that most people still don't know that Brent is in Sunder?
Yeah. But what I wanted to talk about
Right.
was how, because you had told me this like New Year's Eve 2019, 2020. We was talking and Ty was like, there's a reason why Brent has only performed Crew like 3 times.
Yeah.
Because you
1000%.
guys weren't trying to use Crew to break Brent.
Yeah, I didn't want him to be the hook man.
Right.
So I also wanted people to, I like, damn, niggas gonna think this Gold Link singing. I said, so what we did was we just did nothing but acoustic sets that whole year. All acoustic sets, So Far Sound. We went to Sundance. We did
Man.
all these things. And we didn't do nothing but Coachella, the DC final show, and Late Night. Them the only 3 performances he performed Crew to date.
And I thought I never thought about the strategy of that. Of
Right.
trying not to attach Brent to a record that wasn't his. Because again,
But it was his.
Let me tell you something.
He really made it his.
It wasn't his, because from a instant impact perspective, it was promoted as a Gold Link record, right? We couldn't control the book of business, right? I remember going to radio with Gang Over Love, and who's the big DJ down here in the Bay?
Big Von.
Big Von. Big Von was like, man, y'all need to do a remix of Crew, just his version. I said, Von, we don't own that shit, bro. This is what we do own. This Gang Over Love shit, we own that.
After Crew took off, or was the plan prior to Crew taking off to roll in that way? Like it felt like it rolled right into the project that Saunders son. What was the first?
That was the first debut album.
And
Yeah.
that shit, it reminded me of Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. That's
So-
why that project still to this day is like one of my
So
favorites. 'cause of
that
shit.
project, you gotta realize, once I'm a marketing nigga at the end of the day, once I'm like, I remember calling the niggas at ASCAP, because we were at ASCAP first. And I was like, yo, they just went to radio with this record. I need y'all to give me $10,000 advance or I'm gonna leave. And then I was talking to a black guy and he hit me with the politics shit. I said, man, I respect everything you say, but when I get out this phone, I'm gonna terminate my contract from ASCAP because y'all ain't giving me no advance, right? The record was in Mix Show. I didn't know that record was gonna fucking go and be number 1 on Urban Radio. I didn't know it was gonna be a Gucci Man remix. I just knew that
Gucci
this shit
remix
is going
took
to
that shit to the next level.
The fact that you only asked for 10 grand shows how much you did.
Yeah.
Because early on, when you truly don't know the value of shit, a nigga can give you whatever.
Right.
And that's a great spirit to have. It helps you navigate and go.
All I was trying to do is pay for our album to get done in the DR.
Yep.
That's all I was trying to do. I was just trying to piece up the money. 8 months later, I tell this to Britt's attorney, Karen. I'm like, yeah, man, fuck ASCAP. So when Crew came out, when the remix of Crew came out, right when the Gucci Man shit, we was out of we didn't have no deal with no PRO. So she was like, yo, what are you gonna do about PRO? I'm like, man, fuck it, man. They didn't want to give me no money. Fuck them. We unsigned. She said, well, I just did this one deal with this one artist, and they shit ain't nowhere near big as Crew. I said, how much they got? She said, shit, like 75,000. I was like, for real? I was like, shit, I do it for 75,000. She said, man, I probably can get you like 100. So she put me on the phone with Wardell from BMI.
Hey, listen, Pub is sneaky because you don't really know what you have until they let you know what you have. Like, I got an extensive catalog, but I ain't got no songs on radio, none of that. My Pub deal offer was for 200,000. And I was like, I said, my shit worth 200,000 to them because you don't truly understand what you have. Because niggas be like, Pub, unless you get on radio, the Pub chat, but it's like, not when a nigga got 500 songs.
It's a completely different conversation.
I don't even have to be on radio. My shit, bro, like, I really learned the value when they offered because I was like, I was going to ask for far lower.
Right.
A nigga was just getting enough to do
I need about 40,000. You're like ready to sign off on
maybe a 50
40,000.
piece.
Yeah.
But when you heard 200,
I was like, yep.
What did that tell you about what you were doing at the time? Just that
It told
number.
me it was bigger than I was seeing it.
Period.
Like, and I thought I was already, I be telling him, like, nigga, I'm the best. Ain't no nigga fuck with I'm the best. But it was like, it showed me, it was like, damn. The first thing that hit my mind was like, my shit worth 200 now?
Yeah.
Oh, nigga, they don't need, nigga, I put out 6, 7, 8 more albums, nigga. My shit worth 200 now? Hold on, I'll be back.
So give me 6 months.
I'll be back. I'm gonna get y'all 200 back, and I'll be back.
And this is the thing. When you independent, I like to say boutique. You know what I'm saying? I like boutique. This shit too handmade to be called independent. This is a boutique business. You're so insulated about what you're trying to build, it's easy to not know the value of it. Because you don't really have a lot of stuff to compare to. When you go work with a major label, there's so many comps. There's so many comps. Like, oh, this person got this and this person got that. Nigga. You're not even in the conversation when you're building your own shit.
Right.
So I'm on the phone talking about $10,000.
Nigga.
And then they 9 months later, BMI give us 100,000.
Hey, nigga write that 10 happily. A nigga who know.
That's why I know the nigga at ASCAP probably sick. I don't even remember his name. But I remember getting on the phone. I'm not resigning then. Like I'm motherfucking like it was like I'm fucking having a holdout, like I'm gonna leave.
I be telling them when they got niggas like that in there, cause I was like, bro, he fucking y'all money up. He fucking up your company. Bro, like niggas who just don't get it and don't want to advance, they're not like just fucking up his deal. Like, he's doing that with everybody. You fucking up the company and they don't even know. You niggas missed out on a nigga for 10 grand. Y'all, the easier check for 10 grand. Nigga, that's like, shut up, nigga.
Right. I got you. Don't worry about it. I got
you. Hey, sit tight.
Listen, this how so trill. This how so trill Wardell is from BMI. I'm a nigga. When he was like, well, shit, I think I can get you 100. I said, nigga, if you can get me 100, you ever seen Wolf of Wall Street? And when Jonah the nigga said, you show me a check right now, you made 75 grand this month, I'm gonna quit my job right now. So the nigga was like, if you give me 100,000, I'm gonna bring my whole goddamn catalog over that motherfucker. And he was like, nah, don't do that. He said, if I give you 100 grand, just give me all of the futures. Don't bring Crew over because you're gonna fuck the money up. I was like, damn, man, you a real nigga, don't give me that information? Yeah, I don't even want to talk to nobody else.
You know, that's what's so funny when you come, depending on the stage of your career, because when a nigga come early and be like, I give you 100, boy, you ready to give everything. You like, nigga, for 100, because you don't realize what it's worth.
Yeah.
You don't realize what that shit is actually worth. Like, man, I'm really grateful for Russ. And I fuck with that nigga, and he gonna win for the rest of his life because he did my first deal. And it was just for 100. And he was like, I literally told him, I was like, bro, I don't know when I'm gonna deliver this project. Let me run my shit up first. That way, when we do drop it, you got the best position. Because I only had like 50,000, something like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, just let me run it up. We did that in 2021. I still ain't delivered a project, but I got myself to $1 million for our built infrastructure.
Yep.
Now, when we drop something together, it's like, now you have a real shot at getting your shit back and us doing something and getting a moment, you feel me, in history. Like, that was my goal. I wanted to, like, that level of return, you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But you don't know what it's worth until you get to a certain point and you're like.
I tell everybody, you know, when you black and you doing art, you have to you gotta operate like the unknown is nothing. You have to operate like the unknown is gold. You have to, because if you operate like the unknown, it's like, I don't know, maybe I might fail if I don't take this opportunity. You have to operate like whatever I do might hit, right? Because if I don't.
But you know what, though? You also got to treat it as if gold doesn't mean as much to you as what you're trying to obtain, right? Because sometimes I notice we get stuck and we'll turn down money that we need because it's like, oh, well, I think it's worth it. And it's like, bro, you could take that and build and get that with it. You feel me? It with fair, bro, I've been like that a few times with fair exchanges, like me feeling like something was worth whatever it is when that thing doesn't really exist, like disable me in a moment. You feel me?
Same. I think me and you talked about this. Brent not wanting to spend his own money anymore made us more money because I didn't grow up in business school. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in mud school. You know what I'm saying? In the mud, building it out. So for me, as long as I can afford to pay and fund my own business,
I'm good
because I don't got to answer to nobody, I don't got to talk to people like that, and I can just take my own pace. If I want to run, I'll run. If I want to walk, if I want to...
You know what's funny? When I used to talk to him early, and I'm finally at the point where Brent is, and I think you didn't understand it because, like, you've always had to be in your shoes, but Brent, as the artist doing it and having to make, like, no, nigga, listen. And I'm finally to that point, because when I used to talk to Ty early, we was big on that, like, nah, because if you take their money, then da-da-da, and we know what comes with the extra. And it's always been like, nigga, if you could do what you do, you feel me? It's good, but it's like, no, because I could do 10 times more. Like, nigga, if I don't have to come out my pocket and a nigga just give me an extra $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, and it's like, here, you can use this to do whatever. Nigga, you gotta be crazy. You feel me? To not, like, it's a necessary thing if you've already built and established something substantial. Like, I don't think niggas should do $1 million deals unless you've already proven that you could build something worth $1 million.
Yeah.
You feel me? If that ain't happening, it's like, no, you gonna set this nigga up. Like, that's just gonna be fuck. But it's like, when a nigga already built it and proved it, that's the nigga you give $1 million. That's the easiest startup.
Now tell me this story. I saw the video of you asking about help, right? Looking for private investors.
Yep.
What encouraged you to finally say, okay, I'm going to take this to the people?
Because I've been hella internally conflicted about signing. So I'm like, the type of help that I want is that of like $1 million plus. Like, I've already built this shit ton out of my pocket, and I can continue to do that. And it's going to be a slower pace, or I can go get someone to invest who already invests money into music to get me this check. But the only thing is, like, I feel like part of me is like, damn, if I go major, it feels brand compromising. Like, it feels like I didn't stick to my core. But it's also like, the other side is like, no, I'm showing you a route that you can take, and I communicate through it, but it feels compromising to the brand as well. So I had to sit with that. So I'm like, all right, if I'm not going to go get the money from the people who have all the money to invest in music, to stand on whatever I'm standing on for people, then I need people's help.
Right.
I'm going to need your help to get the same amount of capital to build the same thing, right? So for me, it was just like, I'm going to ask, and I'm going to see what I get in response and in exchange and what works. But if that don't work, at least I gave it a shot at going to it first before I do this. And I can elaborate all of this and explain it. This is why I did it. This is what worked, right? Like, we never get an artist to do that.
No.
Like, Brent needs to talk about his... Well, he doesn't. He just live his life.
No,
he's for a nigga to talk about the deal and why they did it and why he's coming out of independence and all that shit. Like I seen his podcast with what was it, Rap Radar,
Right.
but it wasn't
It
wasn't as in depth as like a nigga, because we
what he's
always
doing
see
next
artists
year.
come out of independency and sign like Russ, go to a Columbia, then come back indie, but they don't communicate. They'll do an interview
Like,
every now and then, but they don't really,
mindset.
like I do Free Game Fridays where I explain what the fuck is happening in the journey and in my life. And when you miss that part, you just start formulating. It's harder to support a nigga when you don't know what's going on and a nigga not telling you.
You start to kind of create the story in your own mind.
You got to create your own story.
I mean, I feel like that's why the Ty interviews were so like
Pivotal.
Important early on.
Because it came from the source.
Yeah.
It's very important for our news to come from the source.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I'm going to hear about Drake's career, I want to hear from Drake first, and then the niggas who were right around him, and then the nigga who just doing a YouTube video could tell me about it. Right? But when you get that information from source, which we seldomly get, like, I feel like my fan base is partially one of the most educated bases about just kind of shit. Like, niggas be learning. Niggas be learning shit. They be messaging me like, man, I be doing this now. This how I run my ad. Yeah. There's no other artist platform you can go to and learn how to run an ad and learn how to...
Not from the artist.
Not from the artist. Not from the artist.
It's crazy because I struggle with... So I had a policy for a very long time. Nobody can take pictures of me.
Right.
Like, don't take no fucking pictures of me. I don't want nobody to be seen because my whole thing was built off of World Wide West. So I was like, yo, that's going to be the
ghost
thought process of I'm going to help people and I'm not going to be seen. But then the era changed, right? I was a part of that era changing where now the information is coming from the content, right? And I was just thinking about this, right? If I would have had social media set up when the Vice News shit went viral, when all these different things, I would have been earlier. I was already doing podcasting from an educational perspective through the articles we was doing in 2017. Yeah. So just imagine if I would have just stayed on that same. I didn't even know
that's what you were on. Like if you,
I didn't even know that was value in that for real.
I didn't even know.
I be telling all these niggas around me, I'm like, bro, every single one of y'all have such a specific lane in this that if you vlog it, there's people who want to be what you doing and want to learn what they want to learn. There's people there. And you was in such a pivotal role. Like, when I was able to click that video and it was like, this nigga, he's sharing the info. Nigga, I had notebook. He's sharing the information. Bruh, no, you can't go nowhere and get it unless it's from like an old record exec or a rapper. It just don't be the same, bro. It don't be Drake giving the information or like the Kanye giving the information and you know, like it's seldom. That's why I really like 50 Cent.
I fuck with 50.
I really like 50 Cent, bro. He really gives game without like Kanye's game is hyper emotional. So you have to go through a lot to pull the gem out. Yeah. But 50 is like, he speaks very concise and it's just like, nah, this is what you, bro. And the nigga, I was watching some shit the other day. This nigga said, he was like, when Jimmy Iovine showed me that the money is more important than a relationship, I took it as such. And I did the same thing. And I was just like, bro, right. Like
black and white.
Like black and white. A lot of niggas can't break things down. Like everybody can't make apples applesauce. That's why I feel like I've gotten to where I've gotten in my journey because no matter who you are, from whatever, nigga, you all the way from the hood to the burbs.
Whatever
it's applesauce, nigga. You feel me? But he's really concise and we don't have that shit. It's necessary for niggas to show not only how they did it, but like going to do. Why did you choose to do that? Like niggas just get the deal and blow up and we hear nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I think that you know, there's not a lot of artists even in that position to be able to do it. But I have been
like running their business.
Yeah, yeah. So I think Brent now, just like you, is trying to figure out how do I tell that how do I go out and tell it to a point where people understand it? Because what I'm telling y'all about, basically he helped both of us make a bunch of money because he decided, I don't want to spend my money no more. He wasn't doing that from a business decision more so than it was a creative thing.
Yeah.
I want to spend more money on art.
Yes.
And I don't want to go broke doing it.
Exactly.
But that's a business decision. But I don't think he articulates it as a business decision as much as I
it's
did.
not. It's really just something that for him, like what he needs to be able to do what he does best and to do it happily, this is what I need.
Yeah.
Business or not, I don't give a fuck about the business, nigga. I'm not enjoying this. You feel me? Like, it's not business decision, which is what makes our business so creative.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, yeah, I'm doing business with you, but I don't really do business.
Yeah.
I do life. So it's like, we're going to figure out how to do it in a way that feels conducive to my life or it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, 1,000%. That makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense for sure. LaRussell, like, what is when you are going through all these different thought process about the different deals and the thought processes of like, okay, how much money do I take? Who do I take the money from? What are the deal breakers in that process for you?
The people are usually the deal breaker for me. Now I'm often able to get terms that I want. So it's really like the people in the process is like Def Jam I've been really on the fence about because I fuck with the people there. I really enjoy the people and their energy and how they feel about what I'm doing as well. And they're like students. They watch and learn too. But I don't like the processes, like how long it takes for things to happen. And because to me, it'd be early signs. It's like, if I got to wait 3 weeks for this, I don't ever want to be in a position where I have to wait for you to tell me I can do or to do something I need done. Like, I just don't like that shit. And if it's not a priority or urgent enough for you, then we could just wait until it is, because I'm the nigga who's going to be like, this has to be as important to you as it is to me because it's my life.
1,000%.
It's not, I don't have this is not my job that I get a check for. Like, this is my actual life. You feel me? So
the process thing is a very important aspect. So I had one of the homies hit me, Neil Dominique. Neil manages Bryson. He manages a lot of other different artists, right? And Neil always hit me when he's trying to get something across the finish line, rather it's a sample cleared. You know, niggas be sampling this son of shit. So he hit me about a sample that need to be cleared. First, the producer hit me, right? DJ Nash Beats. Shout out to Nash. He hit me, like, Ty, I got this beat with a whoop. I said, bet, bro, like, I'll clear it, I ain't tripping. Then Neil hit me with like, yo, I got this artist at Interscope, whoop. I said, well, I ain't clearing it at Interscope. They on the ban list. They owe me too much money. So they've been on that list since like 2001, 2021, 2020, right?
Right.
And so Neil's like, so why do they owe you money? So because Neil is the type of nigga that if he wants something and the only way he gonna get it from you is to solve your problem, he gonna go solve your problem. Cause he want what he wants. He comes from like that school of puff. Like he's like, so what's your problem? Cause I really need this done.
That's what I'm on.
Right? So he said, hold on. I said, bro, listen, we put a Juice WRLD record out with Juice WRLD in 2019. We haven't been paid. I haven't even got a statement. So why am I gonna keep clearing samples for Interscope and they ain't paid me from something that I put out? I didn't charge them no fee. It wasn't a sample. It was an original record that I offered for your project that's just featuring Brent. Juice WRLD not even featured on the song. That man was alive when we did that record. Right. He was like, oh, no, that's fucked up, nigga. Fuck that. I'll call you back. And I bullshit you not. To the nigga about a month. Because them folks really wanted whatever that song is. But it's probably more so Neil because he don't like hearing no. Right? And they sent us the statements of what they owe us, which is about $90,000 or some shit like that, right? Which number just signed off. I'm like, I feel like I gotta audit these motherfuckers. This shit don't look right? But outside of the numbers, they still was like, okay, cool, here go the numbers. Can we get it done? I'm like, where the money at? Y'all not finna pimp me. I approve the shit. I'm still waiting for the money. When the money hits, then we can start the approval of this sample process. Because I don't even know if Brent gonna still approve the motherfucker.
You know, when I'm starting to, and I guess I won't know until I'm in the building, but me and you both know what it's like to build a business and how you'll take a 10 from here, like nigga, just give me 10. And some days I'll be sitting and I'll be wondering, like, are they doing the same thing?
Yes. They're not wondering. Yes. Budgets are getting shared, my nigga. If one artist get a budget.
But I mean, beyond that, is it a nigga in there who's like us, but worse maybe, who's like, nigga, I'm gonna take that from there, and I'm gonna use this from here, and I'm gonna do this from here. Or is it because I be hearing like some niggas are signed, but won't get paid, like won't get their advance.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't happen as much as you might think it happens, right? But what will happen is the one thing about the labels for new deals, when you sign, somebody get that money. Now, if you sign
That's
through a
crazy.
third party, you sign to a production company, the label, if that advance for that artist is X amount of dollars, that money is paid out in less than 30 days. Now, once that money is paid out, what the label don't do a good job at is in ensuring that this money is broken down to the artist that is going to the artist in whatever way it's going. They don't really meddle into what deal the artist got with the production company, right? And I think that is a part of a responsibility that they should be dealing with because now you in business with this fucked up shit.
Right.
And it's going to be a reflection of how you do business and how people view you. So if you keep just signing deals with people that's in fucked up production deals, then
I'd be like wondering what is the plan? And that'd be partially why I want to go major, because I want to get into the room and just see like what's the plan and if I can have a part in at least curating what y'all decide to do over here a little bit.
Yeah.
If I could be a part of the plan, because if it's gonna happen, because I'm like, well, what the fuck is the plan? When I look at Spotify, even when I look at like the USA top 50 and I look at the list, I'm like, what is the plan? Like who you know, who is running the ship and what are you trying to accomplish with this? Because some shit is just a little interesting. And it's like, why no one's asking? No one's wondering like what is the plan? Because them niggas got a plan. The same way we plan what we doing.
Yeah.
They have a plan on why they're doing what they're doing. We just don't know it, but we all we all a part of, you know?
So one of the things that I identified very fast with building your business and getting it hot is that when you don't have the knowledge, you run out of the idea. You run out of business ideas, right? So when you ever hear this concept, like, man, like I feel like we hit a brick wall or we hit a glass ceiling. So the next thing is to go partner with the experts. The labels are the expert. So when you sign over to the label, you're not even thinking about doing no plan. That's why I paid you niggas. You niggas better figure out the plan. I'm gonna take this money. I'm gonna go live in the studio.
Right.
I'm gonna go on the road. But nobody is learning from why you signed up with these motherfuckers because they had the knowledge and infrastructure, but you're not even learning it to be able to pull away from it and build it while you're in your system.
Bro,
Right.
I'm going in to get it. Like, nigga, if I go in, I'm going in to get it. Like, a nigga, I want to know what the fuck going on. Because shit looking a little weird over here. And everybody seem to be okay with it. So I just want to know if this is a thing and this is what niggas about. I understand clearly, but it just feels like none of us have enough care to like.
So this is what you're gonna learn.
Nigga just trying to get, you know, they pocket right, and then it's like, oh, let them do whatever they doing.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, no, because this shit ain't right. Like, y'all don't, that shit, it'd be interesting.
Yeah. You're gonna learn really quickly what the major label system is. It is a very black and white thing to me. And the black and white is this. Labels outsource, just like you outsource. Labels got financiers, just like you're looking for a financer.
Hmm.
They have the history of success.
But who is the financer?
It's the parent company.
Like who the fuck get the money to Universal?
The Vinny, it's a company called but they're a public company now. So you can buy stock market shares and all that type of shit now. But before it was a privately owned, it was Vinovici. I can't think of the name.
Bro,
of the
it's so high. It's so high level,
it's very high level.
Which what makes me think it's like some grand plan.
Yeah.
Because it's like when you can get that many niggas to be so invested in something, it's more than money.
No, yeah, it's a community.
Mm-hmm.
It's a community
because it's an infrastructure, right? They
Yeah.
make decisions based on how we forecast what's about to happen next, right? I mean, think about when CD stopped selling and they
Right.
started putting niggas in 360 deals. That was a decision.
Definitely was a decision.
Someone decided that we
was a decision that was made outside of us.
Yeah.
That affected us.
Yeah.
But none of us was in the room to be like, this is a good or bad decision. And I don't even think it's a bad decision. But it's just like
it was a decision made that
it
we
was
didn't
a
have no
decision made that none of us know who made that choice in that decision.
I don't think there was no artist in that room for that. There's no spokesperson for the artist that'd be like, maybe we need another idea.
Right? And was there no artist in the room because artists weren't allowed in the room or artists had no interest in being in the room, right? And that's what I want to.
I think it's a combination. I think every situation you can make the best out of it.
Mm-hmm.
If you know exactly what you want to get out of it. If you know exactly what you want to get out of it, you can make the best out of it.
Right.
Right? If you're not knowing, being blind, that's when you can fuck around and then, you start fucking up your fuck you money.
Don't fuck up your fuck you.
Don't fuck up your fuck you
You
money.
definitely don't want to fuck up
Hey,
your
it
fuck
happens though. And
Yeah.
you got to go get some more fuck you money.
Yeah, you gotta
Sometimes you fuck
circle
up the
back.
fuck you money and you got to get back and get some more fuck you money. You feel me? Like you have tears. You literally got tears.
I was just told this yesterday that the goal is to get rich once. You don't want to prove a fat trying to get rich 2 or 3 times. That's the goal,
Right.
just to get rich once. When he said that shit to me, I was like,
That's hella funny.
I was like, you know what? I can end it on that one. Right?
Yeah.
That's hella funny.
Get rich once.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the
But
goal.
I don't know if that's the goal for me. I'm going to get rich as many times as I have
I was about
to.
to say, you seem like the type.
For me, it's like, nah, nigga, I'm gonna get rich. I might have to get rich 100 times, but I guarantee you when I'm done getting rich, you're going to be like, oh, this nigga rich. And it's like, yeah, I had to get rich 50 times.
It sounds like you got rich and you just built on it. What he was saying is getting rich and going broke,
Right.
then having to get rich a second time. You're talking about getting rich and saying, I got this, I'm finna go here, here, here. He was like, here, then go here, then trying to get back here.
Right.
That's stupid.
That's stupid, but it's life sometimes.
But I see what you're
Sometimes
saying,
it's life.
LaRussell. Doesn't matter what the obstacle is. If it affects you being rich today, you'll be rich again and again and again until.
And that's kind of how, like, I look at that's how I look at money in general. It's like, I use money as an asset to obtain what I need to obtain, whether it costs me my riches or not. If it costs me to go in a hole, I'm going to do that because I believe in what I'm doing it for. And I know when I come out that hole, it's going to be harder to put me back in it next time.
Absolutely.
You feel me? So, like, that's how I look at it.
Makes sense.
Fuck you, money.
I think that's how we
That was it.
Thank you, LaRussell, for bringing us in. And,
the Pergola in person.
Come on.
It's been an incredible conversation.
Yeah, this was great.
We're very excited for you. And, we wish you the best of luck.
Gratitude.
My dog.
This
My
is
brother,
great.
my brother, my
Come
brother.
on. We got the messages.
Oh yeah, it's definitely the message.